Imagine a baseline state of sheer physical need. An animal, a fox in this case, is navigating a forest with an empty stomach and an intense, overriding drive to find calories. And then a target presents itself. High on a vine, a cluster of ripe, water-dense grapes hangs in the light. The fox's physical response is immediate. His mouth waters, signaling an incredibly high perceived value. There is only one problem. A stark gap of vertical space separates a grounded predator from an elevated prize. At this exact moment, everything is perfectly aligned. The animal recognizes the nutritional value, acknowledges his own hunger, and forms a clear intention to close the physical distance and get a meal. He begins with standard physical exertion. He steps back, calculates the trajectory, and jumps. When that first jump misses, logic dictates a harder push. He tries again and again, eventually expending maximum physical energy in a desperate final leap. The outcome is objective and undeniable. He misses entirely. He is completely exhausted, and the calories are still on the vine. This failure creates an immediate crisis state. The animal is trapped between two immovable facts. He cannot lower the height of the branch, and he cannot increase his own vertical limit. The active, high-energy exertion abruptly ends. The fox sits down in the dirt, panting, completely defeated by the physics of the situation. Then he does something strange. He turns his back and actively looks away from the exact object he just spent a massive amount of energy trying to acquire. He mutters that those grapes are probably sour anyway, entirely dismissing his need to eat them. This statement directly contradicts the reality we just witnessed. Minutes ago, his physical cravings proved exactly how much he valued that meal. So did the chemical composition of the fruit suddenly change while he was jumping? Or did he rewrite his internal narrative to dull the sting of his failure?
This diagram outlines cognitive dissonance. It's the intense psychological friction that sparks when undeniable reality clashes with our positive self-image. The brain treats this friction as a severe threat, instantly deploying a defense mechanism that shifts blame to protect the ego. By deciding the grapes are sour, the fox removes his own physical inadequacy from the equation. If the fruit is bad, missing the jump isn't a failure, it's a lucky break. He never actually solved his physical problem. He just successfully hacked his subjective perception to erase the psychological pain of falling short. He gets to walk away with his pride perfectly intact, but his stomach is still empty. There is a severe long-term cost to this kind of psychological defense. Lying to ourselves provides a quick hit of emotional comfort, but it permanently blinds us to the actual problem we need to solve. If you want to build actual capability, you have to accurately assess your own limitations. You need the clear, unvarnished feedback that failure provides. Reflexively shielding your ego might feel natural in the moment, but relying on it traps you in a loop of self-inflicted denial and stagnation. You stop trying to jump higher. This specific behavioral pattern is so common that it has been codified into a universal mental model. We call it sour grapes. It is the predictable human tendency to despise, mock, or devalue the exact things we discover we cannot attain. Think back through your own history. Consider the jobs you didn't get, the relationships that ended, or the projects that collapsed, and ask yourself how quickly you decided you didn't want them anyway. True intellectual resilience requires us to untangle objective reality from our subjective ego. Sometimes you have to cultivate the courage to look at a prize, admit you want it, and accept that it simply remains out of reach.